Hello, friends. A year 2024. Another year that tested my strength. But the truth is, I lived that entire year on adrenaline. Wild, relentless, unstoppable. Why do people jump from planes, climb Everest, race across the world on motorcycles, or cross the ocean alone? Because they're searching for spark inside, for an anchor strong enough to make ordinary life feel alive again. And when they can't find it, they chase the rush. They flirt with danger just to feel their heart beating. That's how my 2024 felt. A year lived on the edge, a year of survival, a year burning with pure adrenaline until I found something within me, my self truth, the one that doesn't need the adrenaline anymore because it finally knows who I am. And all the challenges ended right away, but it would happen only in the second part of the year 2025. So, the year of adrenaline, I will divide into key moments, each one a heartbeat, each one a test. The year of solo travels, of waking up in new cities, chasing freedom, and learning to belong everywhere and nowhere. My bold attempt to shift from the Russian speaking world to the English one. Endless networking events, faces, names, handshakes, and the constant search for new ideas, new meaning, new identity. Public speaking, not just to speak, but mainly to fight fear, to face the stage, the accent, the silence, and turn them into strength. A new beginning, a rented house, fresh start, new air to breathe, and on the very first day, a robbery and attempted rape. The kind of darkness that splits life into before and after. Two fears unlocked: sharks and dogs. The universe testing courage from every side. Then crossing America alone on a motorcycle. Miles of road, wind, dust, and silence. Just me and my heartbeat. A trip to Russia and then the door closing behind me. The impossibility of return. An emotional breakdown and a relapse into December 2023 when everything collapsed and I had to start over once again. Life and work under double sanctions, two worlds pulling in opposite direction and me balancing between them. New hobbies, new ways to breathe, to heal, to create. And finally, the birth of my new projects. The projects born not from survival, but from my vision. Many years ago, a woman I knew decided to change her life. Her husband threw her out on the street with two small children. She had no choice but to pull herself together and change everything. She changed her situation, but not her way of thinking. And in 10 years, the situation repeated almost the same way. But what happens when no one throws you out, when the person you leave will forgive everything you do, believing that life after betrayal is still possible? Can a family be saved? Yes. But the real question is, why should it be? Now in 2025, I understand, despite the chaos, despite the adrenaline, I did everything right. Why right? Because I made a decision to change my life, and I didn't break when life tried to break me. Why do man and woman come together? To live in love, to experience joy, to share that sacred pleasure only two souls can give each other. But what if that love is gone? What if all that's left is the illusion of family? Isn't that a quiet crime against both of you? I believe it is. I am 100% for family if there is love left to protect. But I am 1,000% against a marriage without it. Yes, I entered another relationship being a married woman. Yes, I hurt my husband. For many years, we were friends. And the truth, we only coexisted under one roof. But I hurt my husband. I will not deny. And still, I don't regret what happened. Betrayal is the ugliest form of relationship. And yes, it hurts sometimes to know it all went against my values. When I decided to change my life, I also realized I had no moral right to destroy my husband. No ugly divorce, no fighting for money, no division of property. So I left without a fight. And I truly believe divorce should happen with a light heart and pure intentions. It's the only way to move forward in peace. And I'm proud that I managed to keep what truly matters: harmony between me, my son, and my son's father. That's only possible when feminine strength meets wisdom, when feminine power is guided by intelligence, when there is no greed, no jealousy, no need to prove who is right. Only the desire to build from love and respect for yourself and for others. Because in the end, sincerity and true kindness are always rewarded by God. I thank my husband for being part of my journey, and now I move forward. June 1st, 2024. My first independent day. I think it deserves its own story because it's the perfect test to give up or to go on. My son and I rented a moving truck to bring our things to a new house I have just rented for us. From my old life, I took only a bed, some dishes, one suitcase, books, and my son. Nothing else. I wanted to keep our old home untouched, the home where my son was born and raised. I wanted him to have stability, even if everything else changed. Before the move, I had a serious talk with him. I explained why mom and dad wouldn't live together anymore. He cried, left for about half an hour, and then came back and said, "Mom, I have never seen you so beautiful, so young, so happy. If that's your decision, I will support you. But promise me, you and Dad won't fight. You won't divide me, and I can spend time with whoever I want. Promise that nothing will change for me." And I gave him my word. And I will keep it no matter what. After we moved everything to our new house, we went to return the truck. As I stepped out of the car, my wallet fell in the car between the front seat and the door. Inside there were over $1,000, my cards, driver license, a gold ring, and some precious pictures. I walked just a few steps away, and when I turned back, the wallet was gone. When I asked the employee to return it, he refused and walked away. All my money was in that wallet. It was Saturday, our first day in the new house, and there was no food, no gas in the car. I tried to speak to the manager, but he was rude and cold. I begged them, "Keep the cash if you want, just give me back the rest." But nothing worked. And then I broke down. My son and I sat on the grass and we started to cry. We cried so deeply in despair. A few minutes later, a man, maybe 20 years old, African American, came up and said, "Please don't cry. I will help you. Follow me." I asked, "Do you have my wallet?" He said, "Come with me. I'll see what I can do." I would always thought my city was safe, and really, what could happen to me in the middle of the day? I told my son to wait for me in the car. I was telling him I'll be right back. And I followed that man inside of the building, through several corridors, and then the real horror began. He was 2 meters tall, twice my size. What could I possibly do? I don't want to describe what happened next, but I was completely defenseless. Later, I would realize it was easier for me to cross America on motorcycle than to resist physical violence. I don't know how it would have ended if my 10-year-old son hadn't been in the car. At one moment, I heard fast footsteps and his voice, "Mom, Mommy, where are you?" He started to make so much noise. He ran in, grabbed me, and thanks God he saved me. My little boy became in that instant my greatest protector and the unique man in my life. We called 911. We filed a report. I went to court, but after 9 months, as a white woman, I couldn't defend myself. A white woman against African American. And none of the cameras worked in the building or outside the building. And my son couldn't testify. And the case was closed. I lost the battle. But I didn't lose the war. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I wanted to give up. But did I surrender that day? No. My pride didn't let me go back to a life where I wasn't living, only existing. That evening, I borrowed some money from my guardian angel, Sherry. My son and I cried quietly all night without words, as if washing away the past. And in the morning, the sun came out, and I realized a new day had begun. A day when I had nothing left except faith. But that was exactly where everything truly began.